Welcome back to Classic F1 in Automobilista 2, except it won't be F1 for this season. Last winter I let you vote on which season you want to see next after 1991, and you decided that I should dive into classic American open wheel racing for a change. So we will be starting the Kart or Champ Car season 1998 in this episode. I'm really looking forward to this one as I'm not too familiar with these kinds of cars, and we will see tracks we haven't seen before at all in classic F1 seasons we've done so far. And not to forget, with a couple of oval races we'll have an entirely different type of racing in this series as well. Now some very brief historic background on the Champ Car series. 1998 is right after the split happened in American open wheel racing. The split refers to the division of the sport into two separate series, the Indy Racing League and the Champ Car in the mid-1990s. The split was caused by a dispute between the racing series and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, leading to the formation of two competing leagues. The split lasted for over a decade before the two series merged into 2008 to form the current IndyCar series. If you want to know more about the split and the history of American open wheel racing, just search for the split on YouTube. There are many great videos on that topic. And that split scenario is why we won't be seeing the Indy 500, for example, in this series, as this race was part of the IRL back in the day. However, most of the other major and popular American open wheel races still were part of the Kart series, and we're starting with one of these here as well. Today we'll see the Grand Prix of Long Beach as our season opener when we jump on board with El Anser Jr., the record winner here in Long Beach. We'll be using the modern layout, which is not exactly like the one used in 1998, as the layout was changed to how it is today, only a couple of years later. And now let's finally hit the track after taking a look at the starting grid. And because I've done so much talking beforehand, let's just go really quickly through this one. Brian Hurt on pole position, then we have Dario Franchitti, Michael Andretti, Jimmy Vasser, Greg Moore, Scott Pruitt, Bobby Rahal, ourselves, El Anser Jr., we are starting in 8th. Then we have Gilles de Ferran, Christian Fittipaldi, Marc Blondel, Alex Zanardi, Arndt Meyer, Tony Kanaan, who is in his very first IndyCar season here, Adrian Fernandez, Richie Hearn. And then we have Barron, Tracy, Carpentier, Gordon, Papis, Jourdain, Ribeiro, Gugelmin and PJ Jones in 25th and last. And you can already see another big difference to the classic F1 seasons, as we are having a rolling start here, and across the line we go, and we start the first of 42 laps here around Long Beach. Now down Shoreline Drive we go into turn 1, which was a right-hander back in the day, but we are using the modern layout, so we turn left here. It gets quite tight, as we just saw Fittipaldi making a move on Jimmy Vasser in the Chip Ganassi target car ahead of us. Vasser passed Fittipaldi again, and down the inside we go as well, so we've taken that spot back from Christian Fittipaldi, though he's still on our inside, and the next turn is a left, so he has the better line going into that corner, but we were alongside Jimmy Vasser there, but we didn't make it pass. Now towards one of the most famous bits of that track. First, that right-hander here might be a good opportunity for an overtake, as Jimmy Vasser hits Scott Pruitt there and kind of unsettles his car. He manages to stay ahead of us still. Now around the outside of that very, very tight hairpin. We've seen many accidents happen there over the years as people got too eager, but we make a move around the outside of Jimmy Vasser as we start lap 2. Andretti has taken the lead from Herta, and now we're trying to attack Christian Fittipaldi, so the standings down there not up to date anymore, as we just made it past the Brazilian, and through the fountain bit there we go. And now let's look at what is happening behind us. Oh, and Vasser turns Fittipaldi around, and he now drops down the order, but there was no caution as the situation resolved itself. So with Fittipaldi now not filling our rear mirrors anymore, we are taking a look at what is going on ahead, as we're now sitting in P6. This is Scott Pruitt ahead of us, and now we can use the slipstream down Shoreline Drive. And now, around the outside, of course, now I have to take the longer bit of road, but still the slipstream was powerful enough, and we are later on the brakes, going down the inside of turn 1, and we are past Scott Pruitt, and therefore we move up into P5. We still have him in our rear mirrors, but now with a good exit out of that right-hander, we get a couple of car lengths between himself and us. Next one up is Greg Moore. Let's see if we can make a similar move like we did against Pruitt. This would be for P4. Down the outside this time, as Moore is defending the inside. And we don't dare to brake as late, as this first corner is really, really scary. I've seen so many cars go straight on there. This is actually the good end for making a mistake into that corner, just going straight on and turning your car around, because many can't avoid the tire barriers, as we are now trying around the outside of Greg Moore, but he closes the door on us there. Though we were kind of alongside already with our rear front tires, alongside his rears. Are we getting very close to the tire barrier there? This happens so easily here in Long Beach that you kind of understeer into one of the many tire barriers. We made a little contact, but it was really only a slight brush, so no harm done here. As we are following the Canadian around the course in this iconic light blue livery. The one in which, of course, Jacques Villeneuve in 1995 won his IndyCar championship. We are very close now. But here is kind of, yeah, difficult to try anything. Now maybe once again with a good exit, not as good as last time, though we're trying it on the inside, but yeah, we don't dare to brake too late, so that we don't crash, and we almost lose our car and crash into the wall there. So that was a bit of a difficult moment we had there. Has taken us a bit to catch up to Moore again, but we are now really close once again down the outside. No, that doesn't work. He closes the door once again, and that corner is actually quite tricky, and once again on the throttle as it goes there uphill and the bumpy road, it's not easy to apply the throttle out of that corner. We've now experienced that twice already. Now we're really, really close. And so is he on trying to make a move on Franchitti, but now down the inside we dive with a surprise move. We make no contact. He leaves us the room, and we're through on Greg Moore. Now let's watch our mirrors. He's still there. He can now use the slipstream. He's not there yet, but there he comes. Oh, and he makes contact with us and kind of pushes us out of the way a little bit and retakes P4. So we can see the podium driving right ahead of us. This is Herta, Franchitti and Moore. Michael Andretti in the lead of this race has already put a bit of distance between himself and Herta in second. And now we're trailing Moore by kind of over a second again. Not the greatest of laps here, but now he's trying to make a move on Franchitti into the right-hander. They are side by side going through there. Maybe we can take advantage of that, but they don't try anything silly into that hairpin. Oh, Moore very slow out of that, and Herta and Moore get into the pit lane and come in for their pit stop. This is could be a two-stopper. We're trying for one stop. A splash of fuel and fresh tires. Kind of in the middle of this race. This is a little early, Don't know if they're trying for 2, but they could still make it work with 1, of course. Now let's see what happened to these two. They had quite of an open road ahead of them for quite a while, but now after 2 laps, and this is a problem for them, they hit traffic. Namely, Max Papis, who is now ahead of them in the number 25 car. And he is holding them up quite badly. And it is, as they so often say, catching up is one thing, overtaking is an entirely different. So they're now losing lots of time. They could go like half a second or even a second quicker than Papis. And ahead of them there is another group of cars. So the early pit stop might not have worked as well for Herta and Moore as they would have hoped for. Well, and as we're just starting lap 18, these are the standings. No one in the top 12, which will be the point scorers, has stopped yet. Herta and Moore were the first ones. And we therefore moved up into P3. And we are now pretty close to Dario Franchitti in the Team Cool green car. Once again, yeah, we've tried this with Moore a couple of times, but it's just not working. But will we ever learn? I highly doubt that. As we now go through that right-hander. Getting close to Franchitti once again. Oop. Now we are very close. We might try something down the inside of the hairpin. We are a little bit late on the brakes. Slight contact there with Franchitti. Not the cleanest of moves, but a very common move, I shall say, here in Long Beach at that final hairpin. Well, and a bit later, we're in the pits for fuel and fresh tires. A bit longer than the stops we are used to in Formula 1 nowadays. And out we go, and we can already hear lots of cars passing by on our left side here. And we need to wait and wait and wait until we finally can accelerate. And it will be pretty close with a group of cars. There we can go on the throttle now. And we are on the outside. And oh, there is one of the other players' cars. And another Team Cool car. But don't be afraid. This was Paul Tracy. Not the light blue car of Greg Moore. Who were we battling earlier. We are ahead of Moore. And the other Team Cool green car ahead of us, that is Paul Tracy. So we now are battling with their teammates with cold tires and a pretty heavy car now. We are having kind of issues staying with them for now. Mauricio Gugelmin is behind us. You may remember him from our 1991 Classic F1 season we just did. Oh, now around the outside of Paul Tracy. Might that work? No, but he's going into the pits anyway, so we got rid of him. But because of that little hold up there, Gugelmin makes it past ourselves and is now ahead of us. And let's see where we are right now after our outlap here. We are sitting in 10th now behind Gugelmin, but we are the first car that has already made a pit stop. But still, we are now in traffic as well, and we might lose time to those at the top of the grid right now. And we're still behind Gugelmin, and what is even worse is that Richie Hearn ahead of us is just so slow. He is holding us up a lot. Even Gugelmin can go faster than him, you can really see here. And we need to find a quick way past both of them, because we could go a lot quicker, and we could have a great chance here for a podium, maybe even the race win. But we need to make it past them first. We were so close to the podium runners. Actually, we have overtaken Herta and Moore, so virtually we are now running on the podium, but we might lose it if we lose too much time. Looking at that Hollywood rear wing there of Mauricio Gugelmin trying to get a good exit out of the final corner. We don't really do that. And now we still have to look at that rear wing. Getting close, trying it around the outside. A little late on the brakes, but no, that's not possible. He's the better line. And then the wall comes really close around the outside. It really bends towards you, so hanging on there around the outside is a very risky, if not stupid thing to do. Even if you're, at least if you're just not fully ahead. And Gugelmin just can't find a way past, and we would be so much quicker than both Hearn and Gugelmin. But we're stuck here. And the seconds are falling away, and virtually we are now really dropping down the order. And even we have to look in our mirrors. We are even having someone trying to make a move past us there. But now around the outside, inside there, down the inside on the hairpin against Gugelmin, and we finally make it past. At least past Gugelmin, and now let's see if we can clear Richie Hearn quickly as well. Could it work here into turn 1? Once again around the outside. It doesn't. Oh, and even Gugelmin dives down our inside and overtakes us. And now we're still battling with... oh my goodness, this is Robbie Gordon behind us. He almost made it past, but we just... hang on to our spot here. We lost a bit of time there, but just probably under a lap later, we are already very close to these two. Trouble under accelerating out of that corner. We're pretty used to that right now. Oh, but this is a very good exit with the slipstream now alongside Gugelmin ahead of the braking zone for that right-hander there. And this might work now. This might work. We have the better line. He can now hold on to it, at least through that long left-hander approaching the hairpin. But we have the better line going into the hairpin, and we are past the Brazilian. And ahead of us now, Richie Hearn gets the better exit out of that corner. Unfortunate once again, so we can't make a move into turn 1 to finally clear these two. But at the end of this lap, we are getting a little desperate, and it really shows by what we're doing here now. Down the inside, very late, kind of pushing him out of the way, but that was really necessary because we were losing our race here. And you can already see that we have lost some spots to Pruitt, Zanardi especially. Franchitti also has done his pit stop and has come out quite ahead of us. And now everybody has made their pit stops and we're down in P5. But at least we can see Alex Zanardi just ahead of us. And he's now having trouble with some back markers. Andretti, by the way, is still in the race lead. Oh, and this is a very bad part of the track to have issues with a back marker. This is Robbie Gordon once again in the Panasonic car. Oh, Zanardi very aggressively passed now. And we hope to take advantage from that back marker, but this is also a bad bit to be stuck behind the back marker. And now we will make it past, but we were so close to Zanardi, even kind of side by side with him. But now, yeah, this is like 1.5 seconds we are away from him once again. But there is more back markers he has to deal with now. This is actually very, very helpful for us, and I don't think he will clear both of them before turn 1, and then through that slow bit they can't really let him by. Or they won't really let him by, so we can use that to catch up and maybe take advantage of that really unfortunate situation for the Italian. Now once again you can really read that target advertisement very clearly. Alongside! Oh, that doesn't work. Wow, and ahead of us is Michel Jourdain, and he is really holding us up now, even so much so that Robbie Gordon slips by and unlaps himself. Zanardi is still stuck behind Jourdain. Unbelievable. Now finally, will he let him by? No, still not. Wow, that is some questionable driving there, but still we weren't really able to take advantage of these messy backmarker situations. Well, 3.5 laps to go, and oh, Zanardi with a little bit of a mistake going out of the corner there. He almost lost his rear end there, and we make it past ahead of that corner. Whoa! And we almost lose our back end here as well and spin out. We just managed to hold on to it. Oh my goodness. Deep into the hairpin. A little bit of contact with Zanardi. Our tires are now really, really struggling. So, yeah. This is not good at all. But at least we are now up into P4. Thanks to that mistake by Zanardi, who just taps us in the rear, pushes us out of the way, and makes it through turn 1. This was unexpected. I didn't expect him to drive like that, but that was a pretty dirty move there. I didn't even expect that to happen. And now we have 2.5 laps time to get back into 4th. I was kind of settling with 5th, but after he made this mistake there, I really want to go for 4th. And especially after he hits us in the rear there. And just pushed us out of the way into turn 1 in the braking zone. Unbelievable. Can we try something into the hairpin there? No, not really. And now, as we come across the line, it is only 2 laps to go for us to make a move. Now the slipstream kicks in. This might work. We're getting close down the inside. Oh, but Zanardi's late on the brakes and manages to hold on to 4th. This is now an exciting battle. The second stint of this race after we made it past Richie Hearn was a bit eventless, but now in the final couple of laps it is only for P4, but this race has really come alive for us again. We tried down the inside here this time, doesn't work, and now we're kind of running out of opportunities. Can we get a good exit out of here? No, we can't. Way too far off from Zanardi to try anything. We only have the hairpin left twice. That's one time of them. No chance to make any move, but we're trying to get a good exit now out of that corner. We are a bit far away, but it is a long flat out bit here, and the slipstream is working once again. We're getting close. Not really alongside. He leaves us the room. But it's not enough for us to make a move. And we are on the final lap, just to remind you of that. And that was probably our best chance. Now we can only try something in one of the, less popular overtaking spots. And of course, we will have the final hairpin. We can try something desperate into there as well. Might this work? A good exit? It was kind of good, but yeah, we're still too far away. We won't be able to try anything into that right-hander here. But we can try to now get down the around the outside to be on the inside for the chicane. Oh, we almost lose our car on the braking, and that wasn't even what I wanted to go for. But we lock our tires, kind of slam Zanardi out of the way, but we take fourth with a very dirty move. But hey, he took fourth away from us with another very clumsy move. So I guess that kind of cancels each other out. It got a little dirty there with Zanardi in the end, but let's just look at how we finished in this race. And we are just looking at the top 12, which will be the point scorers. Just for the sake of simplicity, I won't award any points for most laps led, fastest lap, pole position. Anyway, we just have the finishing positions scoring points, and like it was in 1998, these are the top 12. So Michael Andretti wins ahead of Dario Franchitti. Very unfortunate ahead of our pit stop. We were very close to Franchitti, or we were even past Franchitti, so we could have finished second. Maybe even attack Andretti in first. Scott Pruitt back into the podium with a good strategy. Alonso Jr. we finished fourth. Alex Zanardi fifth. Moore back into sixth in the end. Herter seventh. Jimmy Vasser eighth. Mark Blundell ninth. Then we have Tony Kanaan. What a great rookie first race for him. He already scored 3 points. Then we have Gilles de Ferran and Adrian Fernandez, our final point scorer. And on the right hand side you can see the championship standings, which to no surprise are exactly the same as our race result for today. And that has been it for the first race of our kart 1998 season. I hope you enjoyed it. I really did, driving these very different cars, of which I'm not too familiar with. But it was great fun, and I'm already looking forward to experiencing more tracks I'm also not too familiar with, for kind of a change to the usual Formula 1 calendar, where you, well, in different versions at least, but you kind of always have the same tracks, don't you? The next time we'll be driving our first oval race, the Rio 400 at Jacarepagua, the oval layout of that track. I'm really looking forward to this one, and I hope to see you all there. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to not miss anything happening on this channel, and I hope to see you all the next time. Until then, goodbye.